students, welcome back to another lecture of physics where we are proceeding to yet another interesting aspect of the chapter called graphical representation of motion. So far we have been learning about the parameters which describe motion. They are distance, displacement, speed, velocity, acceleration, how they change with time. These all things we have learned so far in this chapter, and now we are proceeding towards the graphical representation of motion. Graphical representation of motion is nothing new for you children. You have been drawing different type of graphs in your previous classes. You have been drawing bar graphs, you have been drawing pie charts and histograms as well in the previous classes, even the line graphs also. What is a graph? In a graph, basically, you show how one quantity changes with another quantity. That is, for example, you are showing the distribution of marks of different children in your class. So, number of students along with the marks, that is a way of showing the distribution. You can mark it on a graph. Likewise, you can show the increase in population of a certain city with different years. So, that is also shown on a graph. Here we will show what are the different displacement or positions of an object with different times, or we will show what are the different velocities of an object at different times. So this is what we call, this is what we talk about in graphical representation of motion. So as in graphs, we have two axes, x-axis and y-axis. On x-axis, it is always used to mark an independent variable, and y-axis is used to mark the dependent variable. Now, when we talk about motion, in motion we study the position changing with time. Suppose I say that position of a body is changing with time. So, what is the independent variable here? It is time, because time does not depend on position, but position depends on time. So, dependent variable becomes the position and independent variable becomes the time. So, we can take time as an independent variable, and we can take position, or we can take velocity, or we can take acceleration as dependent variables which might change with time, which might remain constant also. So in 9th grade, we will learn about two type of graphs here. We will be learning about two type of graphs. One will be displacement time graphs or position time graphs, and the other one will be velocity time graphs. With these two type of graphs, you can also learn about distance time graph, which will be a scalar quantity marked with time, and speed time graph, which will also be a scalar quantity marked with time, keeping in mind that what are the basic properties of displacement and distance, and what are the basic properties and differences between speed and velocity. So, rather than explaining theoretically about the graphs, I would advise you that you start making the graphs. I understand that many of you must not be having graph papers for now, but for that you can use a scale, and with the help of a scale you can mark the values on the x-axis and on the y-axis. Probably you can choose the scale at your own convenience. Suppose 1 centimeter you are marking 1 or 2, another centimeter you mark 4, another centimeter you mark 6 and 8, and so on. Likewise, here also you can mark at each centimeter 5, 10, 15. This task can be easily done with the help of a scale on a normal paper also. So we will first learn about displacement time graph, but before I teach you, I would like you to draw some graphs whose data I am providing you, and in the next class we will be discussing about these graphs. So these are the three tables. Here in these tables I have given you time in seconds and displacement in meters. Time is 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 seconds, for which we have done our observation, and displacement is 5, 5, 5, 5, means that the object is at 5 meters from the origin at all the times of our observation. In the second case, we have taken the time of observation as 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10 seconds, and the object shifts from origin to 5 meters, then 10 meters, 15 meters, 20 meter and 25 meter, assuming that the entire motion is taking place in a straight line. In the third case, for all these 10 seconds, the object initially is at the origin, then it shifts to 5 meters, then it goes to 15 meter. Next, it takes the position of 25 meters, then 10 meters, and then it returns back to the origin in a same straight line. How to draw the graph? For that, I have just drawn a coordinate axis for you people, explaining you the first example that I have shown. I have marked 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 on the x-axis, representing the time in seconds. I have marked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is displacement on the y-axis, representing the displacement of the body on the y-axis. We can see that at t equal to 0, the position of the particle is 5. Likewise, at t equal to 2 seconds also, the position is 5. At 4 seconds also, the position is 5. 6, 8, 10, all the times the position is 5 seconds. So we obtain these points according to the table or the data which is provided to us. When we join all these points, we get this type of a graph. So this straight line graph is the requirement or the graph for the first table or the first data. I need you all to draw the graphs for these two also, and then there will be some interesting properties coming out from these graphs. I also suggest you to leave some space after drawing each graph. You should draw one table and then the graph on a page, and then leave few lines for the description of the graph that we will discuss in the next class.